Hello everybody, Gibsomatic here, and today I'm going to be talking about the gun range in your bunker, as well as what the challenges unlock, and also giving you guys some tips on how to complete all of the challenges for the gun range inside your bunker. So recently I have completed all the gun range challenges, and to be honest, while they do take a bit of time, they are completable. And I've heard a lot of people say that they're, impossible, or they're too difficult, or whatever. And in this video, I want to be talking about how to do them, trying to help you guys out if you are struggling with them. Now, a few things I want to mention in this video. This video is more geared towards people that want to get those challenges done, not necessarily for people that want to do gun range competitive. So, with other people. This is more so for the solo challenges, although some of this advice can work and apply towards if you are trying to win against other players in your gun range. And also, finally, just so you know, this was done on Xbox One, so anybody saying that it was impossible on console or, with a controller, it's not. It really isn't. So first off, let's talk about what the challenges actually unlock you and why you'd want to do the challenges. So there are 3 different tiers for your weapons, and there are 6 different weapons. So there's a total of 18 different challenges that you have to do. And so tier 1 gets you the gold and platinum tint for your Mark II weapons. Now, most of you probably already have this unlocked for every other weapon. And if you complete tier 2 on all of your weapons, you will get increased capacity on all throwables. Now, this will be by 5 extras. So if you have grenades or sticky bombs or tear gas or whatever, you will now be able to hold 30 of them, and you'll be able to resupply them inside your bunker. You'll also be able to, I think, resupply grenade launcher ammo inside your bunker. And even, this is very good for like proximity mines as well, because you basically double the amount of proximity mines you can hold. So it's overall a pretty good thing if you use a lot of throwables. And, let's say you're in a big firefight and you're just wanting to throw them all over the place. This is going to be good because you do get 5 extra of each different type of throwables. And in tier 3 will get you access to 3 hats, 6 t-shirts, and 3 hoodies. And these are all pretty good items, but all cosmetic. There's nothing too great about this. They're just kind of like ammunition and, weapon manufacturers and, logos and stuff like that. So they're nothing too great. However, you do unlock them, and that is something quite cool. As well as you can resupply in your bunker, you can resupply your RPG ammo. So that's another thing that's quite good. But whether the unlocks are worth it for you is completely subjective. And you can decide from there whether you want to go ahead and try and complete all the tier challenges. But in this video, I still want to be talking about how to do them. So let's start off with number 1. And that is to upgrade your weapons and disable your custom loadout if you have one. So the 6 weapons that you want to upgrade are the pistol, SMG, assault rifle, carbine, combat MG, and heavy sniper. The 6 weapons that have Mark II variants of them. And you want to upgrade these and mainly put on drum magazines, or at least extended magazines on most of them. You could do without some of the other attachments, but I do recommend, put it on scopes, put it on compensators, put it on anything like that. Also, if you want drum magazines, I suggest that you take away the Mark II variant and just revert that change, at least, for the time being, so that you can put a drum magazine on stuff like the assault rifle, SMG, carbine rifle, and stuff like that, because you can't do that on the Mark II variants. So I definitely suggest that, because one of the biggest drawbacks of having a base weapon is having to reload a lot, and that will definitely impact your time on these. Also, I suggest disabling your custom loadout, because let's say you're like me and you don't actually have the assault rifle in your custom loadout. Well, whenever you do the mission, you will have just a stock assault rifle. You won't have your custom one. So make sure you go into your inventory and disable your custom loadout before doing them, if you have one, and if some of the weapons that you are going to be using in the challenge are not in your custom loadout. Next up is to time your shots. Now, each target will take down in the same amount of shots depending on your certain weapon. And those are the pistol, which takes 1 shot to take down your target. The SMG is 3 shots. The assault rifle and the carbine rifle are both 5 shots. The combat MG is 10, and the heavy sniper is 1. So what you want to do is time your shots. You don't want to shoot too much, because if you do, then you'll miss, and then your multiplier will reset if you miss a shot. So you want to make sure that you're timing your shots and also not wasting your ammo, because if you do, then you're going to have to reload more often. Next up is to change your settings. Now this is most geared for somebody who's using a controller, and what I do with my settings are I have low sensitivity, a medium dead zone, so just put your dead zone close to the middle. I put it a little bit closer to the left than the right, and then also I have full acceleration. Now you can mess around with this how you want. You could have high sensitivity, although I don't really recommend it, and then I guess you could have a max dead zone and max acceleration. It depends on what you want, but that's what worked for me. But I definitely recommend changing your settings and messing around with them and seeing what works for you. Next up is to change your reticle to be simple. Now this only applies to some people who already have complex enabled. I definitely recommend playing with simple, at least for these challenges. The reason being is it makes getting headshots easier because instead of having these big reticles on your screen, then you just have this small dot, and to me I feel like that makes it easier to get headshots, especially at long range, compared to using the complex reticle. But that's up to you. You could still do fine with the complex reticle, but I think using the simple reticle is far superior in these challenges. Number 5 is to go for headshots. Especially at close range, you definitely want to go for headshots. Now, this is a bit different. If you have a high sensitivity, this may not apply to you, and you may not take this advice. However, for me, with a low sensitivity, going for headshots on a ground target and then switching to a headshot on a hanging target next, that's a bit difficult. And to me personally, on most of the challenges, I would, especially in tier 2 and tier 3, I would go for headshots on ground targets and then go for the red dot body shots on hanging targets, just to save a little bit of time. Now, if you have a high sensitivity, like I said, you may not save that much time just going for body shots, and going for headshots is still better, but I still did fine going for body shots on hanging targets most of the time, unless I was already aiming up at their head, then you want to keep going for headshots. But just to save a bit of time, you could still go for body shots, at least on the hanging targets, so that you're not spending, that extra, couple milliseconds aiming up at their head. So that's the thing with these challenges. You want to not only be fast and you're able to change targets quick, but you also want to be accurate. So it's a bit of this balance there where you have to be fast and quick and you'll change targets quick enough. However, you also want to be accurate and you don't want to be missing your shots, and you want to keep your multipliers up. And then finally, my final tip is to, while you're reloading, always reposition. So if you have an upgraded weapon with a drum magazine and all the upgrades and stuff, you probably don't need to reload too often with most of the weapons. However, if you do find yourself reloading, I definitely can recommend repositioning. So these go in two ways. First is if you're reloading and you're not aiming at the head of that specific target, while you're reloading, don't just stand there and wait for you to reload. Reposition your reticle to be on their head, so right whenever you're back ready to fire, then you can just instantly hit their head. Also, if another target springs up while you're reloading, make sure you know of that. So if there's a target on your left, you're gonna switch to your left target while you're reloading. Or if you've already shot at that target and you're reloading after, I recommend going to your next target before finishing off, because you may only get 1 to 2 shots extra on that target. Another problem that you could have is if that target's already been up for a couple seconds, it's going to go down on its own eventually. So if while you're reloading and you're already aiming at the target, and then right after you're done and you're about to fire, it goes down, well, you just kind of wasted your time repositioning your target anyway. So make sure you're picking the fresh targets and not picking ones that have already been up for a couple seconds if you are gonna reposition to a new one. So anyways, those are some tips and some advice to give you guys on the gun range challenges. It is possible on a controller, just so you know. If you have the ability to play on PC and you just want to complete the challenges, the best way is to go on PC with a keyboard and mouse, because it's going to be far easier than with a controller. However, it is still possible with a controller. And hopefully some of this advice helps you guys out. You let me know in the comments, have you completed the gun range challenges? Was it hard? Was it easy? And if you have done the gun range, let me know which weapons were the most difficult for you. But anyways, leave your thoughts on all that in the comments. Hope you enjoyed. Feedback's always appreciated. I'll see you guys in the next video.